Hello, gentlemen. There's something truly remarkable about Sigma men. They embody independence and self-reliance in a way that sets them apart from the crowd. These men live life on their own terms, untethered to conventional societal norms. They carve their own paths without ever seeking validation from others, and that, my friends, is a rare quality. This unique independence often leaves modern women feeling perplexed and even a little off balance. Sigma men don't fit into any stereotype. They're quiet, self-sufficient, and unmoved by traditional rules when it comes to relationships. Here's the thing. Unlike most, they don't crave attention or approval, but it's this very strength, this refusal to conform, that makes them stand out. And yes, it can sometimes make women feel uncomfortable. Why? Because Sigma men challenge the unspoken rules society has placed on how relationships should work. Have you ever wondered why so many modern women struggle to connect with Sigma men? Today, we're diving into 12 real, and yes, sometimes harsh, reasons behind this tension. Some of these insights might just surprise you. So stick around and watch the entire video. You won't want to miss a thing. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's dive in. 1. Sigma men value peace over drama. In today's world, relationships are often mistaken as needing drama and emotional roller coasters to feel passionate and alive. For many, fiery arguments and intense conflicts are seen as the spark that keeps love burning. But for Sigma men, it's a completely different story. They don't chase chaos to feel connected. For them, peace is everything. Engaging in pointless conflicts or emotional manipulation? That's just a waste of time and energy. How Sigma men approach relationships differently. Sigma men have a mindset that's refreshingly unique. They prioritize calm and stability, choosing logical solutions over heated arguments. This doesn't mean they're cold or detached, far from it. They care deeply, but not enough to lose themselves in unnecessary drama. Their pursuit of peace isn't indifference, it's a deliberate choice. It keeps their minds clear, their reasoning sharp, and their relationships healthy. Why others misunderstand them. This calm demeanor can often be misunderstood. To those used to the highs and lows of intense emotional waves, Sigma men might seem distant or unfeeling. In reality, they don't need conflict to feel alive. Drama isn't their idea of excitement. Instead, Sigma men seek relationships built on mutual respect and understanding, not endless arguments, peace as their strength. For Sigma men, peace isn't just a preference, it's a foundation. They refuse to sacrifice their inner calm to meet someone else's emotional expectations. They understand that true connection doesn't require chaos to feel meaningful. And let's be honest, who can blame them? In a world where chaos has become the norm, the Sigma man's calm, rational approach is like a breath of fresh air. They don't just crave peace for themselves. They bring stability and reassurance to anyone who truly values their way of life. 2. He refuses to chase her. Sigma men have absolutely no interest in chasing anyone, and this alone can leave many modern women feeling confused or even frustrated. In a culture where playing hard to get often works as a strategy, Sigma men simply reject the game. For women accustomed to being pursued by men eager for their attention and approval, the Sigma man's approach is nothing short of unexpected. Not arrogance, but self-respect. This refusal to chase isn't rooted in arrogance, it's about self-respect and a deep understanding of their own worth. Sigma men don't need to prove their value by convincing someone else to see it. They're perfectly content on their own and won't compromise themselves just to please others. The typical thrill of chasing or flirting. It simply doesn't interest them. An unexpected approach. When a woman tries to play hard to get with a Sigma man, she's in for a surprise. He won't react like most men. He won't take the bait. Instead, he'll continue living his life, calm, unbothered, and, most importantly, completely uninterested in the chase. Sigma men are confident enough not to seek validation by running after anyone. If there's no real connection or shared values, they'll walk away, without hesitation or regret. A complete role reversal. What truly catches modern women off guard is how Sigma men flip the traditional dynamics they're used to. The power women often wield by making men chase them. It suddenly vanishes in the presence of a Sigma man. This not only challenges their expectations, but leaves them feeling both intrigued and puzzled by someone who refuses to follow the usual rules. Sigma men don't play the chasing game. They're uninterested in running after anyone for attention or recognition. They live on their own terms, fully aware of their value, and they refuse to let anyone shake their sense of self. Ironically, this very refusal is what makes them so magnetic. Without even trying, their independence and confidence do all the impressing for them. 3. Their emotional detachment makes them immune to manipulation. In many relationships, emotional closeness is often used as a subtle tool for influence. Some modern women, whether consciously or unconsciously, leverage intimacy, vulnerability, or emotions to steer their partner's actions or reactions. These tactics often rely on rewards, guilt, or attention to achieve their aim. But with Sigma men, these strategies simply don't work. Detached, but not unfeeling. Sigma men have a remarkable ability to emotionally detach, which makes them almost immune to psychological games. This doesn't mean they're unfeeling. Far from it. Sigma men do care deeply, but they refuse to let their emotions be weaponized against them. They've mastered the art of staying calm, even in high-pressure or emotionally charged situations. While others might fall prey to guilt trips, jealousy, or emotional pressure, Sigma men remain steadfast and composed. They don't beg for attention or crumble under manipulation tactics. Emotional independence as a strength. This emotional independence isn't a weakness. It's their greatest strength. While some may misinterpret this as coldness or distance, it's actually a reflection of their commitment to genuine connections. Sigma men value relationships that are free of hidden agendas or emotional bargaining. They prioritize transparency and authenticity over playing games, the advantage of emotional detachment. Far from being a flaw, their ability to detach gives Sigma men a distinct advantage in relationships. It allows them to protect their peace of mind and personal values. It creates space for relationships rooted in trust, honesty, and mutual respect, free from power plays or manipulation. In a world where emotions are often used as tools for control, Sigma men stand apart. Their strength, independence, and refusal to engage in psychological games make them unshakable. And this resilience allows them to foster deeper, more meaningful relationships while safeguarding their own emotional well-being. 4. Sigma men cannot be tamed. Sigma men refuse to be tamed. This makes them a fascinating yet unpredictable force in the eyes of modern women. They don't conform to societal expectations or relationships that demand compliance. While many are willing to bend, compromise, or adapt to please a partner, Sigma men take a different path. They are steadfast in living life on their own terms and reject the idea of changing who they are to meet someone else's desires or needs. Rejecting the mold of expectations. This refusal to be tamed means Sigma men won't adhere to traditional roles or expectations in relationships. They won't adjust their behavior, preferences, or lifestyle to fit into someone else's script. Instead, they remain unapologetically true to themselves, unwavering in their individuality. For those accustomed to partners who adapt or change to keep the peace, This trait can be both intensely attractive and frustrating. Strong-willed and uncontrollable. Sigma men possess an inner confidence and a deep commitment to their personal values, allowing them to resist attempts at control or manipulation. Refuse to mold themselves into someone else's idea of an ideal partner. This strong-willed nature often creates tension in relationships, challenging the typical dynamics of influence and persuasion. Yet, it also sets a new standard, one where autonomy is paramount and compliance is never the price of connection. Authenticity and integrity. The resistance to being tamed doesn't come from stubbornness or a refusal to cooperate. It's rooted in their commitment to authenticity and integrity, preserving an undiluted sense of self in a world where many compromise to fit societal norms. A new relationship dynamic. Their unwavering independence forces others to confront a relationship dynamic where freedom, authenticity, and equality take center stage. This approach may frustrate or challenge those used to traditional relationships, but it also brings excitement, respect, and growth. Sigma men don't just form relationships, they create partnerships grounded in mutual respect and genuine equality. By refusing to be tamed, they redefine what it means to truly connect with someone. Their insistence on staying true to themselves not only sets them apart, but also inspires deeper, more meaningful connections with those who value independence, authenticity, and freedom. 5. Sigma men have an anti-materialistic stance. Sigma men stand firmly against materialism, rejecting the idea that a person's worth is measured by wealth, possessions, or flashy displays of success. They're not interested in the latest car, the biggest house, or designer brands meant to impress others. For Sigma men, true value comes from within, from character, knowledge, and personal freedom. These qualities far outweigh anything money could ever buy. A clash with materialism. This perspective often puts Sigma men at odds with women who place high value on material comfort or view possessions as markers of success and security. Many women find meaning in milestones like owning a home, building a luxurious lifestyle, or showcasing their achievements through what they own. In contrast, Sigma men adopt a minimalist mindset, prioritizing deeper, intangible values. When these differing viewpoints collide, conflicts can arise. Some women may see a Sigma man's anti-materialistic stance as a lack of ambition. Others might feel their own expectations for comfort and security aren't being met. Sigma men's perspective on materialism. For Sigma men, rejecting materialism doesn't mean rejecting comfort or stability. It means refusing to let possessions define or control them. Success, in their eyes, isn't about accumulating things. It's about achieving freedom and inner satisfaction. While they recognize the practical value of material items, they don't see them as life's central focus, a source of potential conflict. Women who place a strong emphasis on material wealth may feel disconnected from a Sigma man's lifestyle, misinterpreting his stance as indifference to their desires for comfort and security, a dismissal of the importance of providing financial stability in a relationship. But in reality, Sigma men don't reject these needs. They simply refuse to let them overshadow their core values. Pursuing deeper fulfillment. What truly drives Sigma men isn't owning more. It's about discovering deeper meaning and personal freedom. They prioritize life experiences, growth, and self-discovery over societal expectations tied to possessions and status. This approach may set them apart from modern materialistic norms, but it aligns perfectly with their commitment to authentic living. Sigma men derive their sense of worth not from material possessions, but from inner growth, knowledge, and freedom. While this outlook can lead to value-based differences in relationships, it underscores their dedication to a life that is deeply meaningful, authentic, and unburdened by superficial displays of wealth. 6. Sigma men don't see conflict as a game. For Sigma men, conflict in relationships isn't about negotiating power, seeking attention, or creating drama. Their approach is refreshingly distinct. They focus on calmly resolving issues or stepping away if the situation becomes unproductive. Sigma men's mindset on conflict. They avoid emotional outbursts or prolonged arguments just to win. They don't manipulate emotions or use conflict as a tool for leverage. Their goal is always resolution, not escalation. A different approach to conflict. This mindset often clashes with those who see conflict as a way to express emotions or test boundaries, a method to gauge a partner's level of care and investment, a means of asserting control or drawing attention. For some, the emotional back and forth of conflict feels like a measure of passion or interest. But Sigma men refuse to play by these rules. Not participating doesn't mean indifference. Sigma men avoid unnecessary emotional games and pointless conflicts. They don't engage in arguments just to stoke passion or seek validation. Instead, they establish clear boundaries. Peace and resolution are their top priorities. Chaos and drama are avoided at all costs. This refusal to engage is often misunderstood. Some women may see it as avoidance or emotional detachment. Others might misinterpret it as a lack of emotional investment or unwillingness to fight for the relationship. But the truth is the opposite. Sigma men care deeply, so much so that they refuse to let themselves or the relationship be consumed by pointless emotional games. Setting boundaries and prioritizing resolution. When Sigma men step away from prolonged conflict, it's not avoidance. It's self-control and a commitment to resolution over unnecessary complications. They approach situations with logic and calmness. They don't let emotions dictate or prolong disagreements. Sigma men don't view conflict as a way to test passion or commitment. For them, conflict only matters when it leads to a solution. Their steadfast approach protects their peace and integrity while setting a clear standard in relationships to build, not break down. 7. Solitude is a power move, not a weakness. Society often links being alone with loneliness, isolation, or even failure in relationships. Many modern women are influenced by the belief that constant companionship and relentless attention from a partner are the ultimate signs of love and commitment. But Sigma men, they completely flip this narrative. For them, solitude isn't something to avoid. It's a vital source of strength. They use alone time to grow, reflect, and stay laser-focused on their goals. Solitude as a tool for strength. Sigma men don't seek validation by being constantly present in someone else's life. They thrive in their own space, using solitude to recharge, maintain clarity, and build their inner world. A different view of solitude. This deep appreciation for alone time can feel unsettling or even confusing for women who equate constant closeness with love and commitment. Tie their sense of worth to the time and attention their partner provides. For Sigma men, being alone isn't rejection. It's a conscious choice. It's how they maintain their independence and control over their lives. It's not a sign of indifference or lack of investment. It's proof of their autonomy and self-mastery. Challenging traditional relationship norms. Sigma men challenge the idea that commitment means constant physical or emotional presence. For them, love isn't measured by proximity, but by mutual respect and understanding. Solitude as a power move. By embracing solitude, Sigma men aren't isolating themselves. They're ensuring they remain grounded, whole, and self-aware. This is a power move, showing they don't rely on anyone else to feel complete. They are whole on their own, whether or not someone else is by their side. For Sigma men, solitude is not a weakness. It's the foundation of their inner strength. It allows them to live with clarity and purpose in a world where many seek fulfillment through companionship. Sigma men don't need that because they're already complete. This self-reliance sets them apart, proving that true strength always comes from within. 8. Sigma men remain unshaken by emotional outbursts. Sigma men have an extraordinary ability to stay calm and composed in the face of emotional outbursts, a trait that often frustrates and fascinates modern women. While most people respond to anger, tears, or heated arguments with empathy, confusion, or anxiety, Sigma men refuse to be drawn into the drama. Instead, they approach the situation with a cool, rational mindset, observing rather than reacting. Not cold, just balanced. This lack of reaction isn't indifference or coldness, it's balance. Sigma men understand that. Emotions are fleeting and can cloud logic and judgment. Being swept up in chaos doesn't solve problems. Staying steady does. Thoughtful responses outweigh impulsive reactions every time. A challenge for women expecting emotional engagement. This calm approach often catches women off guard and is frequently misunderstood. Some may feel their emotions are being dismissed, though that's not the Sigma man's intention. Others might expect him to react emotionally, offer comfort, or dive into the drama to validate their feelings. Instead, Sigma men remain composed, a response that can be both a relief and a challenge. A mirror for emotions. A Sigma man's unshakable presence acts like a mirror, reflecting the emotional intensity back to the source. This forces others to confront their own feelings without relying on external validation. Break free from the typical feedback loop, where a partner's reaction reinforces the emotional storm. While this can feel unsettling, it often leads to deeper self-awareness and growth. Reversing traditional dynamics in emotional conflict. Sigma men turn emotional conflict on its head. They aren't provoked into reactive behaviors, rendering emotional tactics like stirring conflict or applying pressure ineffective. Their calm demeanor encourages self-control and emotional maturity from those around them, a shift many find both surprising and challenging. An intriguing and unpredictable presence. This calm, steady presence makes Sigma men both unpredictable and endlessly intriguing. They create a space where others must take responsibility for their emotions rather than projecting them outward. This dynamic can be challenging, but also sparks curiosity, making Sigma men a compelling mystery. Sigma men don't waver in the face of emotional outbursts, not because they don't care, but because they refuse to let emotions control them. Their calmness is a sign of inner strength and sets a new standard for relationships, one built on rationality, mutual respect, and self-awareness. This steadfastness makes them a stabilizing force and a fascinating enigma, standing apart in a world that often equates emotional drama with depth and connection. 9. Sigma men's loyalty is earned, not bought. For Sigma men, loyalty is a treasure that can't be bought or easily gained. It's not swayed by flashy gestures or surface-level affection, but built on a foundation of genuine respect and meaningful connection. Loyalty rooted in depth, not status. A Sigma man's loyalty isn't tied to status, wealth, or material benefits. It reflects a relationship of depth, one where both sides share a true appreciation for each other. He doesn't offer his loyalty lightly because to him, loyalty carries immense significance. Breaking conventional approaches. Winning over a Sigma man requires more than charm or grand gestures. Traditional tactics fall flat because he's not impressed by attempts to dazzle or superficial displays of affection. What he values most is authenticity, integrity, and shared values. This makes a relationship with a Sigma man truly unique. It's not about appearances or fleeting desires. It's built on real alignment and mutual respect. A loyalty that lasts. Once a Sigma man commits, his loyalty is unwavering and built to endure. It's a durable bond, capable of withstanding challenges and unaffected by superficial disruptions. For him, loyalty isn't just a choice. It's a reflection of the deep value he places on the relationship, earned through authenticity. Sigma men reserve their loyalty for those who earn it, not through material offers or grandiose acts, but through genuine understanding of who they are, shared respect for their principles and values. When a Sigma man is loyal, it's a steadfast commitment, rooted in trust, built to last, and a testament to the bond he shares with someone. His loyalty isn't given lightly, but when earned, it becomes one of the most meaningful connections you could ever experience. 10. Sigma men are elusive, a puzzle modern women struggle to define. Sigma men are famously hard to pin down, not because they're playing games or deliberately keeping their distance, but because they have no interest in being controlled or drawn into the conventional cycles of attention and validation. In a world where many crave being the center of attention, Sigma men operate on a completely different wavelength. They don't seek affirmation or approval, which makes traditional methods of attraction ineffective. Independence and detachment. The elusive nature of Sigma men comes from their profound independence and self-reliance. They don't need others to feel complete, which makes them immune to typical attempts to gain their attention. Grand gestures don't faze them. Common approaches simply don't work. Instead, Sigma men move through life with a quiet confidence, completely unaffected by the chase that defines many relationships. They neither pursue others nor expect anyone to pursue them. A mysterious contradiction. Sigma men aren't a prize to be won, yet their refusal to conform to societal norms makes them an irresistibly intriguing mystery. They defy expectations in ways that can both fascinate and frustrate. They aren't intentionally distant, they're just authentic and self-contained. Their lack of need for external validation challenges traditional ideas of attraction, defying conventional dynamics. This elusive quality forces women to confront a new reality. Traditional strategies of influence and attraction simply don't apply. Sigma men reject the rules that many relationships are built upon. Their independence makes them a challenge and a symbol of authentic living. Authenticity, not strategy. A Sigma man's unattainable aura isn't a calculated act. It's the natural result of a genuine lifestyle. He defines himself entirely on his own terms, without needing validation from others. This makes him an alluring enigma and a persistent source of intrigue for those who try to fit him into conventional molds. The elusive nature of Sigma men isn't born from manipulation or games. It stems from their deep authenticity and unwavering self-sufficiency. Their independence challenges the traditional expectations of attraction and power dynamics in relationships. This sense of being out of reach makes them a captivating mystery, one that disrupts conventional ideas of connection while embodying a unique and compelling presence that defies norms. 11. Sigma men are immune to emotional manipulation. When it comes to emotional manipulation, Sigma men are an enigma. They see through it instantly, and this is where things get complicated. In a world where emotional games and subtle strategies dominate modern dating and relationships, Sigma men stand out. They're entirely unaffected. They simply don't engage in the game. Calculated glances, shifting tones, or evocative gestures. They see it all for what it is. This leaves many modern women, especially those used to steering situations to their advantage, feeling powerless. A man who won't be moved. There's something both intriguing and unsettling about a man who remains completely unfazed by moods or manipulative actions. He won't chase you if you act distant. He doesn't waver, no matter how much emotional chaos unfolds around him. But don't mistake this lack of reaction for coldness or indifference. Sigma men have simply mastered the art of detachment without losing connection. An unexpected shift in power. This refusal to play emotional games creates a profound shift in power dynamics. It sends a clear message: you can't control me and I won't bend to your will. For those used to wielding emotions as tools of influence, this can feel deeply unsteady. A battle that can't be won. Sigma men operate on a level of emotional independence that makes them seem almost unreachable. They don't seek validation. They aren't driven by a need for attention. Emotional strategies that might work on others. They fall flat here. For anyone accustomed to controlling the narrative or leading with their emotions, Sigma men present an enormous challenge. They don't react, they don't yield, and they certainly don't play along. The allure of unshakable confidence. This unshakable confidence is part of what makes Sigma men so intriguing. They don't need to assert dominance outwardly. Their calm self-possession sends the strongest message of all. I live my life on my terms, and nothing can sway me. Sigma men don't follow any script, and that's precisely why they're both endlessly fascinating and undeniably frustrating. Their independence and immunity to manipulation make them a powerful presence, challenging conventional dynamics and redefining what it means to connect in relationships. 12. Sigma men's independence is a powerful statement. The independence of Sigma men is more than a lifestyle. It's a bold declaration of their ability to live life entirely on their own terms. This unwavering autonomy can feel both inspiring and intimidating to many modern women. In a world where relationships often revolve around mutual dependency and the blending of lives, a Sigma man's refusal to compromise his freedom isn't just unusual, it's profoundly challenging. Sigma men don't need anyone to feel complete, nor do they seek validation for their choices. Their self-reliance disrupts traditional relationship dynamics, which often prioritize emotional attachment and interdependence. For some women, this independence can feel unsettling, as if they lack influence in his life or aren't considered essential. Independence as inner strength. For Sigma men, independence is not a rejection of relationships, but a reflection of their inner strength. They don't rely on someone else to fix or complete them, which can be confusing to those accustomed to emotionally dependent partnerships. To a Sigma man, independence isn't about creating distance. It's about building the foundation for genuine freedom. Challenging emotional dependency. Sigma men's autonomy can feel like a challenge to traditional relationship expectations. Their self-sufficiency forces others to question their own roles and influence within the relationship. They don't reject relationships outright. They simply value them on their own terms. This approach can be refreshing, but also unsettling for those used to emotional reliance. Redefining intimacy and connection. By prioritizing authenticity over dependency, Sigma men challenge societal norms around intimacy and connection. Their approach disrupts predictable relationship patterns, offering a mix of attraction and frustration. In a world that follows conventional templates, Sigma men stand out as an unpredictable force, a paradox of attraction and frustration. Sigma men's resistance to surface-level beauty, emotional chaos, and traditional pursuit methods redefines how connection and attraction are perceived. For those accustomed to familiar roles and expectations, Sigma men are a paradox, both captivating and exasperating. Their quiet independence, emotional detachment from drama, and refusal to conform disrupt familiar patterns, forcing others to rethink their approach to relationships. A force for growth and authenticity. The unique qualities of Sigma men reveal deeper truths about human nature and self-worth. They prioritize authenticity over superficial charm, drawing strength from staying true to themselves despite societal pressures. For those willing to understand and embrace their nature, Sigma men can inspire profound personal growth. Sigma men's independence isn't about rejecting others, it's about redefining relationships. Their autonomy and authenticity challenge us to re-examine what truly matters in life and love. For those who engage with Sigma men, the experience often leads to deeper self-awareness and more meaningful, authentic relationships. By living unapologetically on their own terms, Sigma men invite others to reflect on what's truly important: freedom, authenticity, and genuine connection. A model beyond conventional expectations. A man who isn't swept up in emotional chaos, who doesn't rely on societal norms to define his worth. That's the Sigma man. Guided by independence and self-reliance, he forges his own path, standing apart from traditional molds of masculinity and relationships. Rather than indulging in drama or emotional highs and lows to sustain a relationship, the Sigma man seeks peace. He doesn't avoid emotions, but refuses to let them control or manipulate him. He opts out of the game of attraction, confident that his value isn't tied to external validation. The allure of the Sigma man. The true allure of a Sigma man lies not only in his differences, but in how he compels others to reflect. His self-contained lifestyle, calm in the face of emotional outbursts and immune to manipulative tactics, challenges the conventional view of relationships built on dependency. His independence isn't detachment, it's a testament to his extraordinary inner strength. A new perspective on relationships. Sigma men invite us to step outside the whirlpool of societal expectations and reconsider the true essence of relationships. He doesn't seek to control others, nor does he allow himself to be controlled. His calm demeanor, autonomy, and steadfastness remind us that the deepest connections begin with self-awareness, a symbol of peace and freedom. In a noisy, chaotic world, the Sigma man stands as a symbol of peace and freedom. He serves as a mirror, encouraging us to rediscover our core values and embrace authenticity. His presence challenges conventional norms, urging us to reflect on what truly matters in life and love. He redefines connection, showing us that meaningful relationships are built not on control or dependency, but on mutual respect and understanding. Through his unwavering independence and commitment to living authentically, the Sigma man embodies a profound truth. The strongest relationships are grounded in self-awareness, nurtured by mutual respect, and free from the need for control. The Sigma man reminds us that the path to genuine connection begins within. His lifestyle, marked by peace, autonomy, and authenticity, inspires us to let go of societal expectations and embrace what truly matters. If you've enjoyed this exploration into the world of Sigma men, don't forget to hit subscribe. Stay connected for more thought-provoking videos filled with fresh perspectives and fascinating insights. Join our growing community, a space where we share knowledge, spark conversations, and learn from one another every day. Thank you for taking the time to watch. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, wishing you good health, happiness, and all the best in life.